I'm confident that you can get to 4,000 hours of watch time on your channel, but I know a lot of people are struggling with this. For example, this channel right here. This is Dr. Pat Lass. She recently commented on one of her videos about how even though she's publishing long form videos every week and shorts every single day, it's just not quite working. And I know that a lot of you are in very similar situations. So today, let's dig into what it actually takes to get to those beloved and wonderful 4,000 hours of watch time for this channel and for you. I want to start with a question. What is your unique ability? What I mean by that is, what's something that you can do because of your life experience, the family you were raised in, where you live, the things you know how to do, maybe education you have, maybe just job experience, whatever it may be. What's something that you can do that would be really difficult for basically anybody else to do on YouTube? This is a question I can't answer for you. When I look at her channel, I see a few things that definitely set her apart from most YouTubers, but not necessarily most YouTubers in her space. So first off, she obviously has the education, the credentials. It's something that she mentions early on in basically every video that I've seen her make so far. And I think that that credibility is important and it's really good. But the problem is that other people that are making videos in this same space, and in fact, most of the people with really big channels, they also have similar credentials. So that alone isn't going to be enough. So the question that Patricia needs to ask herself is the same one we all need to ask. What's something about me that could help me to take my videos a step further in a direction than what most other people would be able to do, even other people that are making videos on the same or similar topics? So back to my original question. What is your unique ability? What do you think? What's something that you can do better than most people, or that you just have access or resources for that most people aren't going to have? Comment below. I'd love to hear your ideas and your thoughts. Maybe we can carry this discussion further to help you refine that. Okay, let's move on to the second thing that we need to help get these 4,000 watch hours. Because that first one is going to be incredibly valuable to make your videos, first of all, much more clickable, make people want to watch them, and give you a brand. Even early on, it's important to develop you and your brand and make your videos exciting and engaging. But this next one is going to be really helpful too. In fact, it's one of the most critical things on YouTube, and that is consistency. Now, consistency has multiple parts. A lot of people talk about publishing consistency, and that is important. If you publish weekly, try to publish weekly. Don't leave a lot of gaps. But it goes way beyond that. Consistency in the topics that you talk about on your channel, consistency in the branding, consistency overall in the thumbnail style. Having fairly wide swings in any of those areas is going to make it really hard for YouTube to be able to test your videos with an audience and get consistent results. Now, I want to come back to this channel from Dr. Pat Lass. Patricia here, she has a lot of consistency in her thumbnails. You can see they're not very different. The background's very similar in all of her videos, so the setting for the videos is very similar. The way she presents her videos is very similar. I can see a little bit of kind of an evolution on her channel of trying to make her videos a little bit more and more engaging over time, but overall, they are very consistent. So I actually think she's doing the right thing here from that standpoint. So the goal here with consistency is to help the algorithm to find your audience. The algorithm's not pushing your videos out there. The algorithm is actually taking videos that exist and pulling them toward people that it thinks will like those videos. So if your videos are inconsistent in style, tone, publishing frequency, and even days and time of day, if it's dramatically different from one video to the next, it's going to have a really hard time testing your videos and finding your audience. So one thing that I would encourage for Patricia specifically here, as well as for all of us who are maybe doing some of the same things, is she's covering a lot of different things on her channel. They're all related to kind of mental and emotional health, but we're talking about sleep, generational trauma, more sleep, OCD, narcissism. I've seen several on borderline personality disorder, lots and lots of different things that she's covering. And I think that's okay because they do all tie together, but I would probably focus on kind of a couple or maybe one of these kind of particular aspects of mental health and become kind of the go-to resource for that. And in the name of consistency, I'm going to go ahead and interject in the middle of this incredibly helpful video and ask you to click the like button if you found anything helpful in this video so far. That will help it spread to more people, and we all want that to happen, right? Anyway, back to the main content. Now I want to talk about a couple of things that are a little bit more where the rubber meets the road and how you're going to get to these 4,000 hours. So this next principle is really quite straightforward. And that is that if you build a larger video library, you're going to get more watch time. That basically just sounds like publish more content. It is kind of that, but there's more to it than that. Now you can see here that, Patricia, Dr. Patricia, she's gone and done a great job of publishing a lot of content. She has a ton of videos. She's doing lots of shorts as well, basically daily. And so she should be getting watch time from that. And the truth is, she is, but there are a couple of huge benefits to just having a bigger video library. The first one is actually that you're getting a lot of really good, valuable, important practice. Every video that you make is another opportunity to hone your skills. I can see a pretty big difference between the earliest videos that she published on her channel to the latest videos that she's published on her channel. They are getting better. The reality is that every video that she makes is gonna get her closer to making really high quality video content. But there's more to it than just the benefit of practice. The reality is that every video that you create and publish on your channel, as long as you keep it public, and as long as it's on topic, YouTube is not going to stop experimenting with that video. You see, oftentimes we look at a video and we say, well, it got some views over the first day or two and then it kind of leveled off. The reality is that level off is never totally flat. YouTube's gonna continue to try to find people that want to watch your content. One of the big mistakes you could make is thinking that only your newest videos really matter in terms of views and watch time and that your old videos just aren't getting seen that much. For most of us, that's not the case, especially if you create content where the information is relevant today and in the future. And with more videos, you can take advantage of more of YouTube's features to help keep people watching your channel longer and get them engaging with your channel. I'm specifically talking about things like playlists, pinned comments, cards and end screens. All of these things can help you keep people watching on your channel for a lot longer. And that sends really good signals to YouTube to go ahead and spread your videos further because session watch time is really the thing that matters the most to YouTube. Not just how long they watch one of your videos, but how long your videos keep them on YouTube. So some ideas might be to take videos that are related. For example, Dr. Patricia, you have a whole bunch of videos here about trauma, about sleep, about OCD. Take those videos and put them into playlists. Have an OCD playlist. In fact, even put them in order if there's a logical order to those videos. Not just when you publish them, but if it would be better if people watched one before the next, put them in that order. Then in every single one of the videos in that playlist, make sure that there's an end screen that points to the playlist. Not just another video in that playlist, but point to the whole playlist. People are more likely to continue watching the videos on your channel if other really closely related videos are what's recommended to them. So in addition to putting the playlist in the end screen, if you have another video already on your channel that would be great to watch next, write a comment on your own video, pin it to the top, and include a link to that next video that they should watch. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the fourth principle. Now, it seems like every one of these principles has a whole bunch of stuff in it, so I hope you're taking notes. If you're missing stuff, go back and rewatch it because there's a ton packed into this video. The next thing we wanna do is, well, we got this bigger video library, right? And that's great, and we can link between all of our videos. But within the videos themselves, we want to also make sure we keep people watching longer. Doesn't do a lot of good to put stuff in the end screen if nobody's making it to the end of the video. And it doesn't do a whole lot of good to link to other videos throughout or to have pinned comments if people aren't really liking the videos we're creating in the first place. So within the principle of keeping people watching longer, I have 3 sub-principles. The first one is entertain. We need to entertain people. It's kind of like on television, there are lots of really informational shows, documentaries that I'm a huge nerd, so watching documentaries is something that we do in my home. And yet the documentaries also are entertaining. Maybe not quite to the same level as some television shows, but likewise, we can draw that analogy, and we don't necessarily need to try to be as entertaining as Mr. Beast or Mark Rober, but we should learn from what they're doing and make our informational content or our other content at least a little bit more entertaining. It's key, it's really important that the first few seconds of every video be highly visually interesting. As people scroll through YouTube, they're going to see that little autoplay start, and those first few seconds should capture their attention. The first 3 to 15 seconds should really introduce them to whatever the problem is, whatever it is that they're going to try to overcome in this video, and make them want to get to the end. The next thing that we need for every video is to try to have some sort of story arc. This is something that I admittedly am working on because I make a lot of informational videos and I just want to teach you stuff. I just want to help you get better. But it's not a whole lot of fun to just sit and watch a video forever and just gather a bunch of content, right? If it just feels like a classroom lecture, that doesn't help us a whole lot. So we're gonna talk about Patricia here for just a second as well. But I do think that this is the step where she could make the biggest difference and keep people watching longer, make them much more likely to subscribe, and make them wanna watch even more videos. Basically, what I see when I watch these videos is it feels a little bit like I'm in class in college, and there's a teacher that's talking to me for 10 or 15 minutes about a particular topic, or 5 to 10 minutes in her case, about a topic, and just teaching me some principles, and then we go home. And that's just not something that keeps you really engaged. If we can find a way to build throughout these videos and to have a little bit of a storyline or a story arc where we build from the beginning, we have a problem that we introduce, and we build toward this climax, and then there's quick resolution, and then we're able to go home, we're able to move on, but we feel like we've accomplished something rather than just that we sat there and tried to absorb some knowledge. The story should begin as early, potentially as the thumbnail that even subconsciously introduces a little bit of the turmoil that we're gonna face, but it should build throughout that entire video and pull us through all the way to the end. Okay, sub-principle number 2. There was entertain, now let's move on to engage. In her newer videos, you can see that Dr. Patricia is popping things up on the screen, using sound effects.
Divide our sleep stages into REM, which is the rapid eye.
So as things pop up on the screen, there's a little boop sound effect or something. And those kinds of things are a little bit more engaging. They do draw our attention back. So having little sound effects throughout our videos actually can do a lot more than what most of us would think that it would do. So in your case, Patricia, don't stop doing that. And for those of you who aren't using visual elements on the screen and sound effects throughout your videos, I would find a way to start doing that in a way that isn't over the top, but that helps draw people's attention back anytime that they maybe start to get distracted or to zone out when watching your videos. But I would also encourage you, Patricia, as well as the rest of you who may be falling victim to the same thing, to try addressing the audience more directly. When you're teaching, it's like you're teaching a group of people. I don't feel like you're talking to me. And part of that is because you're looking, I think, at the viewfinder screen instead of looking into the lens. When you're looking at a viewfinder off to the side or over the top, it doesn't feel like you're talking to me. It feels like you're talking kind of at a group of people, and so there's no connection happening. That one little thing I think is gonna make a difference. But beyond that, ask your audience questions. Address them as if you were talking directly to them, like you would if you were working with a client. You can ask them rhetorical questions, or you can ask them questions you actually expect an answer to. And you can even invite them to comment with their response if they want to. It's a great way to build more engagement on your channel. Okay, I'm gonna move on to sub-principle number 3. So entertain, engage, and the third one is connect. Now, again, there's a bit of overlap here with the engage, but it's important for you to build a connection with the person on the other side of the camera. Talk at them directly. Talk to them as if they were there and could respond in the moment. That takes a little bit of practice too. It feels weird kind of sitting here in a room all by myself, talking to you as if you were actually there. But you can start to kind of shift your frame of reference to actually start to feel that way about the people you're talking to, so that you can talk to a camera, even though it's just a camera, and visually sort of see that there are people kind of on the other end through that little circle, that you're actually there. You're there because someone's watching these videos and you're a real person. So connect with the people that you're talking to. Include more of your personality. These videos, as I watch them, do feel a little bit flat to me. Again, kind of like you're giving a lecture. And what I could use more of is just actual personality, actual experiences from life, yours or people that you've talked to or stories you've read, things that will be engaging and make us connect like people like to connect. Now, doing that in a real way also means often making yourself just a little bit more vulnerable, letting more emotions show than just teacher emotion. Actually, like letting real emotions come through, whether that's happiness and excitement, or sometimes disappointment, frustration, sadness, whatever it is. And that does require a little bit of vulnerability, which is scary, but vulnerability leads to far deeper connection, and that leads to people really liking your videos, engaging more, watching them substantially longer, and then all of this 4,000 hours thing, that just kind of becomes like a little goal we passed a long time ago. These strategies all go way beyond the first 4,000 hours. Watch time, specifically session watch time, is YouTube's most important metric. It's how they make their money because they can show more ads to more people if they're watching longer. So if we can increase the watch time by increasing our engagement and all of these things we've talked about here in this video today, YouTube's gonna love you and they're gonna spread your videos to more and more people, and those people are gonna love you. And they're going to wanna keep watching your videos for longer, maybe even watch them a few times. Hopefully, you got a lot out of this video. And again, if you didn't take notes, you might have to watch this again. Give me a little bit more watch time, but also take notes so that you can get a ton more watch time on your videos as well. Hope to see you in the next video here on Channel Makers.